Hey guys, welcome back to Heather Rants. I don't really rant here, but when people don't like what you have to say, they think it makes you sound like you're the one who's unhinged when they call it ranting. Today's topic is a common theme I've noticed from active Jehovah's Witnesses or otherwise mentally in Jehovah's Witnesses in the comment sections of various videos and threads and things like that. Because they are aggressive. They are extremely aggressive, extremely judgmental, and quite frankly, cruel. They don't care. They've been told not to care. Let's get this straight. They've been told not to care. They've been thoroughly groomed and trained not to care what you've been through, where you cannot or will not return to the Jehovah's Witnesses. It doesn't have to be a theological difference. It doesn't have to be actual physical abuse. It doesn't have to be emotional abuse or trauma of any kind. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It's a weak excuse. You're going to be destroyed. Are you wailing? Is there I don't know, brimstone and whatever? They just cruel, hateful, mean, cruel, judgmental things. Agape is not a thing. And that's just it. That's all it is to them. It doesn't matter. You are going to be destroyed and you deserve it. You deserve every ounce of it. It doesn't matter what you've been through, because you can't let a bad set of elders or a corrupt congregation turn you away from Jehovah. This is the personal translation of the governing body. A lot of their rules, their high moral standards, come from an extremely dogmatic personal interpretation that turns biblical principles into actual law. But you can't run ahead of Jehovah's chariot. Cannot run ahead of Jehovah's chariot. Somebody gets disfellowshipped and you don't agree with it, or somebody that, came forward as an abuse victim gets disfellowshipped. I know of 3 abusers. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe a dozen, 10 to 12 victims across 3 different people. You know who's in good standing? All the abusers. You know who gets called when there's child abuse involved? The service department. You can't disagree. Because if you disagree and you open your mouth about it in order to try and advocate for these people, you're going to be shunned. You're going to be disfellowshipped. If you choose to associate with this person, regardless of the decision made by corrupt elders, you're going to be shunned. There is zero accountability. They just keep lopping off the bad thing until they are left with nothing but pure compliance. That is the intent. All these vague policies that they have based on, dogmatic interpretation of scripture and Bible principle turned law. They've got some laws that are based on one scripture that's kind of vague, possibly a little bit out of context, and they take that principle and they make a whole set of things for it. You know what's in the Bible 3 times, 3 very, very clear times directed at the scribes and Pharisees for doing the same exact god-darn thing? Whosoever shall cause a child of God to stumble, and that means all of us, but especially children, because Jesus said this and he had a special spot in his heart for children. Whosoever shall cause the children of God to stumble would be better off to tie a millstone around his neck and plunge himself into the deepest part of the sea. Very clear. This isn't a principle that we took and held on to like our life depended on it. This is very clear. We've got Matthew 18:6, Luke 17:2, and Mark 9:42. Matthew 18:6, Luke 17:2, and Mark 9:42. And that's some pretty severe stuff that they're saying right there, because you know how big a millstone is? You're not picking that up by yourself. You might need 6 or 8 guys, 6 or 8 big, strong guys around your neck. Into the sea. Not just the sea, the deepest part of the sea. This is very clear. Very clear. Why are they not questioning these elders? Why are they doing nothing for these elders? Why are they not saying these policies that allow them to stay in place, not being able to advocate for somebody who may not have deserved the cruelty that they got, whether it was disfellowshipping or just plain old brutality from somebody in one way or another that drove them away from God? Not even God, away from the organization, but they want to associate it with God. Where's the outrage for them? Why is it all on us? That seems an awful victim blamey thing to do. Where is this love and compassion that you claim that you have for mankind? For your brothers and your sisters in the faith? Because there's nothing being done about these elders. I've said it already. 3 abusers, multiple congregations. So the service department is involved because that's the procedure. And nothing happened to any of them. They're all still in good standing. This is from the top down. But whosoever causes a child of God to stumble would be better off to tie a millstone around his neck. Maybe I did wrong. But nobody's saying a goddamn word about these people. I'm just saying. You tell me what you think, because I'm interested in knowing.